The way out of this exhausting and repetitious cycle is to let go of all your defenses. May 28, 2014. The all-inclusive and integrated oneness of God and all that He creates is becoming impossible for humanity to remain unaware of. Modern physics has made it abundantly clear that everything is connected to everything else. There is no separation. Separation is an illusion that you have believed in and which has brought you much pain, but it is unreal. Because you believed in it, you were fearful and felt the need to protect yourselves against others by building defenses, sarcasm, wit, humor, dismissal, judgment, and attack. Protection, defense, and attack are all reactions to your fear, the state that your apparent separation encourages you to believe in, but to engage with them is to inflict pain on yourself. Everything you think, say, or do affects the whole of creation, even though this is not apparent to you, while you remain in your state of very limited consciousness. However, reality, heaven, oneness with your source, can never be damaged or even offended, because it is the supreme sovereign state of infinite love, complete in and of itself, containing and embracing all, and in opposition to nothing, because there is nothing apart from it. Any unloving, that is insane, activities in which you engage within the illusion have severe and painful effects that can be extensive, but they are illusory like the environment in which they take place. Therefore, if you choose to defend yourself or attack another, the effects of those thoughts, words, or actions reverberate widely and painfully throughout your environment, increasing the sense of fear and insecurity that drives you into action in the first place. The way out of this exhausting and repetitious cycle is to let go of all your defenses, and engage in every situation with love, your true and eternal nature. Nothing else works, which is why world peace has still to be established. However, because more and more of you are opening to the love that is safely, eternally, and ineradicably established within each of you, and because you are choosing to respond lovingly instead of defensively whatever the situation you may be facing, the world is moving inexorably towards lasting peace. Deep within yourselves you do know this, so rejoice that the divine plan is unfolding as promised. Signs of its unfoldment are to be seen all over the world as people refuse to be cowed any longer by the illegal, illegitimate, and in fact criminal suppression of their human rights that your so-called elected representatives in positions of authority have been imposing on you through the illicit laws that they have put on the statute books. Equally criminal is the use of civil or military security forces to make sure that these laws are obeyed. The immoral foundation on which the self-serving and illegitimate authoritarian positions that your elected representatives continue to cling to as upholders of just laws is collapsing beneath them, as their deceit and corruption continues to be unveiled by courageous whistleblowers everywhere. Refreshing changes are occurring all across the world despite the efforts of those in power, who claim to be working for your good and the good of humanity, to prevent them. So, celebrate. The old crushing and authoritarian regimes are effectively on their knees, as the extent of their self-serving and corrupt agendas becomes common knowledge, and as those who used to support them in their criminal and deceitful endeavors withdraw that essential support. Without cooperation and support, no human endeavors can succeed. While accepting their apologies for the sins that they have committed, and to which they have admitted, for God is infinitely loving and forgiving, and so must you be, being inseparable parts of Him, do not re-elect them. Personal self-aggrandizement and self-protection are the egoic natures to which they are clinging in desperation, because to face the truth of their self-centered ego-driven agendas, as so clearly demonstrated by their actions and intentions, is far too painful for them to even think of just yet. Their nature is love, because all of creation is created from love, and to acknowledge their shameful errors would bring them painfully face to face with their unconscionable and utterly unacceptable behaviors. As a direct result of the whistleblowers' revelations, they claim that they have, as a consequence of these incredible insights, mended their ways, and can now therefore be trusted to use their skills and abilities to work for you and with you, which is why you elected them in the first place. However, do not be fooled by the clever and inspired rhetoric with which they attempt to convince you that they have now truly understood the errors they have made, and for which they beg your forgiveness as they claim to be moving forwards to correct them. They will do everything in their power to maintain the influence and control that they have enjoyed as authority figures over the eons and through many earth lives, regardless of the consequences for humanity as a whole. They have an intense need to hide from and disown the now revealed unconscionable behaviors in which they have engaged in this and numerous previous lives, behaviors which have now been most clearly revealed as shameful and even unforgivable, as their karmic debts are called in for payment in full in this lifetime. They are, of course, just like all you light-bearers and way-showers, beloved children of God. What seems to have happened within the illusory environment that you built to experience separation from God, from your source, has not occurred. Consequently, there is no need for forgiveness. Nothing untoward has ever happened, and never could happen in the divine reality, heaven, that God created for your and His eternal joy. To forgive something that has never occurred is not possible, even though as humans in an illusory world much that is unacceptable does seem to have happened. However, as humans undergoing intensely real seeming and painful experiences of betrayal and torture, psychological, emotional, or physical, it is necessary for you to forgive those who have apparently harmed you. While remaining unforgiving of these assumed and apparent mistreatments, you close yourselves off from the love that your Father offers you in every moment of your existence, because judgment, and resentment or condemnation cannot associate with, or be in communion with love. Love insists on unconditional acceptance of every part of creation, and there is nothing outside creation because the field of creation has no boundaries, it is limitless. By forgiving, you release all within yourselves that is unreal, anything that is not in perfect harmony and alignment with love, and open yourselves to the infinite and divine field of love by which you are eternally surrounded, leading you forwards to your inevitable awakening. Forgiveness is an absolutely essential aspect of your awakening process. To forgive is to admit to yourselves that nothing untoward, nothing unreal has occurred, and if that is the case, as it most certainly is, there is nothing to prevent you from awakening. At present your awakening is curtailed solely because, collectively, you are still holding on to resentment, to an intense desire for restitution. What you need to understand is that there is no need for restitution because nothing has happened, or could happen, that requires restitution. You are all eternally one with God, the divine source of all that exists, and God cannot be hurt, damaged, or offended, because there is nothing that is or ever could be in opposition to Him as He is all that exists. You are all, each and every one of you, essential and inseparable parts of that divine source, so there is nothing that could attack or damage you. Accept this truth, open your hearts in love, forgive all who appear to have hurt or offended you, and prepare to awaken. There truly is no other option, and why would you want one when this one promises you eternal joy? With so very much love, Saul. Channeled by John Smallman. johnsmallman.wordpress.com